Does that make sense?
It does.
So those areas we must focus on. Volunteering for your local governance and then eventually running for offices. And number 2, young people who are doing people-leading militia, entering into law enforcement, working with your law enforcement agents, being humble, and and as you create a culture of many blessed children going into law enforcement, then those children can start shaping the community, shaping the law enforcement community, talking about in their coffee breaks and from when they're starting and volunteering or whatever, talking about freedom, talking about sovereignty, getting to know the cops, getting to know the chief, getting to know the sheriffs, and loving your citizens, protecting them, being the cop that everybody knows and is friendly and that actually walks around and meets people, not just drive around in scary looking patrol cars. Why don't you be that cop that greets the local citizens, that has boots on the ground, and you're not there to oppress people. People know you're there to protect them. Why don't you be that cop that skateboards around and says hi to everybody? Or that rides a bike and you can get your workout on and you can be closer to the people instead of riding around in these black cars. I hate these black cop cars. They're ridiculous. They build fear. They look like Batman cars. Have you seen these?
In New York, yes.
They are absurd.
Pennsylvania, they're white. In New York,
They look like some freaking Batman car ready to kill you. It's ridiculous. That's not what the cops are supposed to be doing. They're not supposed to be a standing army intimidating force. They're supposed to be a loving, supportive service for the people there. They're not supposed to breed fear into local communities and take orders from a federal bureaucracy from unknown locations. They're supposed to be your local cop that walks around in the morning and while you're having your coffee on your porch, you say, "Hey, Tim, how you doing? Hey, Mrs. Elder, how are you doing?" That's how they're supposed to be. We got to get back to that, folks. Think about it. The Christians are not doing this. They're completely politically brain dead because most of their churches are now state-run. They receive federal funds. And don't even get me started on the Catholic Church. You know that they're teaching liberation theology and the biggest pedophile network, one of the biggest pedophile networks in the world. The second deputy pope, basically the vice pope, is now in Australia being sued and tried for child trafficking. You understand? This goes up to the very top. So don't expect them to do anything for sovereignty. In the Protestant churches, most of them are run and getting federal grants and programs. They're state-run. The only people that can stand up at this end time is those who stand with the Lord of Second Advent and Christ. We're the only ones with such clear political activism, such clear political ideology, and such clear political positions that are even more sovereignty-based than the U.S. Constitution. We're the only ones. How do you think Sharia law starts getting implemented in all these little places all over the world? They start taking local control. And spiritualized Christians cannot do anything about it. Because you even have pastors saying, don't go into politics, it's not biblical. Whereas they're supposed to obey the officials because God has put them in place, Romans 13. You got these kind of state-run brainwashing Christians who are brainwashing their flock to not be active. We're the only one with a strong political, actual constitution ideology that is in Christ, that all the founding fathers are behind. That brings sovereignty to the people and the rights of kings to the people. Basically, I hate to, I know I'm not trying to give you an ego trip or something, but we're the only ones who can do it. So while you're prepping and while you're preparing and doing those kind of things, good. But at the same time, go out. Not only to sell flowers and fundraise, go out and volunteer for your local ordinances, governments, and start getting into those seats so you can bring guardianship, sovereignty, and freedom, Chunigo culture, to your hometown. Don't forget law enforcement as well, young people. We'll be right back after the short break. Stay with us!